Hi everyone, welcome back to another one of my villager hunts in Animal Crossing New Horizon. Last episode we went ahead and invited Stitches to my island. I think that was pretty cool and we were able to find him in 15 tickets. Hopefully the same thing happens today as well, but let's see. As usual we do have Isabel's broadcast here, and in between last episode and this one I had to actually kick out one of my villagers off the island. In this case, we have a lot of different ways we can actually do that. I think there are a lot of different tricks on the internet to try it out. In my case, I have my own method of actually throwing out a villager from the island. I'm just going to explain it. Hopefully, you will get an idea of what I did. But if you want to know more about it, I'm definitely ready to go ahead and do a video on that. But of course, before I explain, I actually had to leave Bluebear, who was one of my most recent villager. I was actually trying to throw out Cherry, but Bluebear had the thought bubble, so I went ahead with him. Anyway, back to my method. What I do is I open up the game, talk to 2 to 3 villagers, save it, and then move on to 1 month plus 1 day. Go into the game, immediately save it and close it again. Come back 1 month. So you'll be probably 1 day forward from where you started. Once I open up the game, I check out if any of my villagers have the thought bubble. If they don't have, I'll go 1 day back and check out again. By the way, when you're checking out for thought bubbles, do not save the game. So if you do find the thought bubble as soon as you come back 1 month, it's pretty good. If you find it on the wrong villager, just go ahead and move on to the next day, but never save the game. If you don't see any thought bubble, I just go ahead and go to the day before and see if there is any thought bubble. Once again, if there is no thought bubble, I'll go to the next day and check it out. At this point, if I don't find any thought bubble, I'll just keep on going to the next day until I find one. The main key with this strategy would definitely be not saving the game when you're trying to check for thought bubbles. Anyway, as long as the thought bubble is not on Ketchup and Stitches, I'm pretty good for now. By the way, here is the list of villagers. I actually made some changes from the previous day. I think I had one of the villager missing in it. Initially, I was looking for Maple, but then I realized that I had both Stitches and Judy on the list. So I decided to go ahead and replace Maple with Molly. I think Molly is a pretty cool duck villager and I'm super excited to have her on my island. Anyway, here we are on our first island and we have Willow. She's definitely one of my favorite out of all the sheep villages that is available for this game. And I really wish I had a chance of having her on my island. I think I've never had a sheep villager on my island, even with my previous ones which I had to reset. So if I am doing some other design, I'll definitely have her on my island. I definitely think there are a lot of different villages that are super cute other than the main ones that you usually see people trying to find. So whenever I'm going through the dream sequence to find different islands, and if I do see some unique villages, I'm super happy and I do actually check out the island to see their houses. Anyway, we have our second island right here and Joey's on this one. I really wish they had done a better choice on his eyes. They literally look like 2 dots. Anyway, we are gonna go ahead and move on to the third island. Here is the third one and this is another one of those common islands. I'm actually hoping to find an island where we have hybrid flowers, which is one of my goals. Hopefully I'll be able to find that. But of course, here's Plucky. I actually like her color scheme. I mean, brown and light blue. Definitely something unique. I'm also, by the way, trying to find the furniture and message bottle that is available in all of these islands. Just because I'm completing my catalog and I think this will help. I would definitely recommend you guys do the same as well. Here we have another new one. This is Queenie. I think I've seen her once before, just like this when I was on a villager hunt. But I've never had her on my island. I think the only villager that I did have was Phoebe, who was like my very first villager on my very first island. So So it's pretty cool to see Queenie here. On to my next island. I think this is the fourth one. Hopefully it is the fourth. We have Spike. Alright. I really like Spike's design, especially the gold on his ear. It definitely looks super cool. But sadly, he is not on my list, so we are gonna move on to the next one. Now, I did go back on my video and just counted. So this is actually the sixth one we're actually seeing, or the sixth island we are on. We have a mouse villager here, and the name is Penelope. Alright. I've actually never seen mouse villagers. The only one that I've seen is Bella, who was on my island and came from another one of my friend's island. But it's nice to actually see the other ones. Anyway, I am just focusing on trying to catch the squeal and Alexandra butterfly. I think I already have this one in my catalog, but it definitely does sell for a lot of bells. So if you do find one flying around, go ahead and catch it. On to my seventh island, we have a newer one this time. Is that Alfonso? I think I've seen him once before, but let's quickly talk to him. Alright, here he is. Yep, it is Alfonso. Pretty cool. I'm actually not really sure who he is trying to represent, whether it's a crocodile or an alligator. It's something I have always confused about, but we are gonna move on to the next island. Here we are on the eighth one, and we have a... who is that? I could not even see which villager it was. So it's Amelia. I actually had her as one of my favorite villager in my previous island. She has a pretty cool house if you haven't seen one. It actually contains all of the log DIY recipes, so I think her house is one of the coolest. Anyway, we are gonna not invite her for this one and move on to the next island. On my ninth island, we have another new villager that I've never met before. But I think the design on this villager looks super cool. Maybe the next time I'm switching out my villagers, I'll be able to invite Rio here to my island. Let's go to the next one. 10th island is Money Rock Island, and I think I've seen many people find Coco here, so I'm expecting her, but unfortunately not. We have a lion villager here, Bud. Alright. I guess I'll be collecting my bells and leaving. On 11th island, we have Admiral. I think that is his name. I have seen him once in my campsite, but I never actually invited him to my island. He looks a bit grumpy, so I'm not really sure how well he would go with my other villagers. But here he is. 12th island is Bamboo Tree Island. We have Carmen. Alright, the first rabbit villager I've come across. To be honest, every single time I go on a villager hunt, I never see any rabbit villagers. The only one I had till date on my island is actually Ruby. So I'm pretty excited to actually try and find Sasha. If I do find her, I will add her to my island, even though her name is not on my list. Here we are on the 13th island. We have another chicken villager. This time we have Benedict. Alright. Not really that fond of his design, but we are gonna move on to the next one. Here is the 14th island, and we have another new villager that I've never met. This is Rowan, and I think I really like his design. The stripes does look really good. Moving on to 15th one, we have Vic. Alright. This is where I had found stitches yesterday, so we are crossing the numbers. Let's see how much it takes to find one on my list. Quickly talking to Vic, I'm really not a big fan of his design, especially his haunted looking eyes. I mean, that actually looks scary. But I'm pretty sure someone out there will really like Vic. I did move on to the next island, and this is the 16th one. We have Violet here. Her design is also pretty weird. I really didn't like the coloring scheme for this one. But once again, we are just gonna move on. Here is the 17th island. We have two cliffs. Let's see who is on top. It is a new villager. This is Becky. You know what? I really like her design as well. I think I would definitely invite her to my island. I need to write down all of these names so that I remember to actually invite them the next time I go on a villager hunt. On to my 19th island. We have another sheep villager. Last time we had a lot of deer villages. This time I seem to find a lot of sheep villages. Let's talk to this one. Her name is Wendy, right? I'm really not digging her blue color though. I really wish it was a different one, but here is Wendy. The count has come to 20. Let's see which villager we have here. And, ooh, is that Melba? Yes, she is definitely super cool and I did not mean to hit her on the head. This is the exact reason why I do not like carrying items when I'm running. I think I'll take down her name to my list so that I'll be able to invite her on my island. 21st island is once again a bamboo island, but we have a zebra villager here, Savannah. Alright, this is again a new villager that I've never seen before. Usually when I go to a villager hunt, I tend to kind of get duplicate villages. So I never get to see some of these newer villages. I'm actually pretty happy that I'm able to see them this time. For the 22nd island, once again we are on the Fens Island. This one is where you'll be able to find most of the different sharks. But we have a crocodile here. This is Del. I did have Del once ago in my previous island. He was pretty cool. But sadly he is not on my list, so I have to go to the next one. On our 23rd island, another new villager that I've never seen. Let me talk to her. She is Claudia. I really am not sure what to say about her design. I personally did not like it, but I think there are people who might like it on the internet, so I am not going to tell anything more than that. Here is 24th island. This is the Waterfalls Island, and we have a villager here. This one is Teddy. I actually really like him. I did have him as a villager on my previous island, and I really liked his house design as well. He's a pretty chill villager and does enjoy a lot of roaming around your island. So if you're interested, I would definitely recommend having him on your island. On to the 25th island, we have another new villager. I think I've never seen majority of these villagers, so this is new for me. Here we have Azealia and she is so cute. I really like her design. Maybe I'll invite her to my island in the future. On to the 26th island, we have two cliffs. Climbing on top, we have Gale. Pretty cool. I had Gale as my campsite villager for my very first island. I remember this because of her very unique design and I was super excited to kind of invite her to my island. Sadly, she was not really selecting the right villager for me and I really got tired of that after 24 hours, so I had to let her go. My 27th island is once again a bamboo island with Zucker here. I really like Zucker and I did have him on my previous islands multiple times. He has a very unique design for his house and the furnitures are pretty cool. Moving on to 28th island, we have another unique villager. I think I really like these villagers. I'm not really sure which animal they are. Are they a peacock? If you know about it, let me know in the comment section. But this is Blanche and she is pretty cool. This is the 29th island and we have the fruit island here. Whoops. Alright, let me try climbing this one. The villager is Quilson. Okay. I think this is one of the worst duck designs ever. I'm really not sure what they were trying to do with this villager. He literally looks like a zombie duck. On to my 31st island, we have Scoot here. We did have him on my island before, so I'm just gonna talk to him and leave to the next one. On the 32nd island, which is the fruit tree island, we have a cow villager. Alright, there she is. Patty, I think. Yup. I have seen her before, but we are not gonna invite her. Island number 33, and let's see which villager we have. I was also finally able to fix the background music for this game, and we have it as well. Ooh, alright, I think I know that one. That villager is called Shub, I think. I'm so sorry if I mispronounced it. Yup, it is Shub. Pretty sweet and cute looking villager right here. I would definitely want to have him on my island, but he is not on my current list. I almost think he made it onto this list, but at the end I did switch him out for Diana. On 34th island, we have a teddy villager. I'm not really sure which one this is. It's Budge. Alright. She looks a lot worried because of her face expression, but she is super cute. Here on my 35th island, we have a squirrel villager. I have seen this villager before, but I forgot her name. It's Blair. Alright. Her design is pretty cool as well. On to the 36th island, we have Judy. Alright, so it took me around 36 tickets to find Judy. So here she is. Actually go ahead and talk to her to invite her to my island. Judy here definitely has a pretty interesting coloring scheme, and her catchphrase is my oh my. I do not know what to say about this. It is so funny. Anyway, she is gonna come to my island. Well, I did talk to her for a second time, and coming back to my island, this spot is now sold. I actually went a couple days forward, and Judy is actually outside walking around the island. Here she is. Alright, so we have found 2 villages for my island. We have around 7 more left, so I'll be definitely covering them in the next few episodes. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, please like, and if you haven't yet, please consider subscribing to my channel. If you'd like to support me more in a personal way, check out the links in my description. And I'll see you guys in the next one.